Hello dear friends, welcome to my YouTube channel. So in the previous lecture we have studied the contents of the redox reactions. Now in this lecture we are going to start with the introductions of the redox reactions. Now generally the inorganic chemical reactions, inorganic chemical reactions classified into three types. Now which are the three important types? The first one is the precipitation reaction, which is very important chemical reaction which we generally observed in our laboratory while doing the acidic and the basic radicals. Now second one is your acid base neutralization reaction. So this is the second type of your inorganic chemical reaction, acid base reaction. Generally this reaction is known as a neutralization reactions. The third one is the redox reaction. That is our chapter, redox reaction. So we will discuss about the redox reactions. But before directly switch to the redox reaction, we must know what is exactly the precipitation reactions and what is exactly the acid base neutralization reactions. Now what is precipitation reaction? Now remember, whenever a formation of insoluble semi-solid salts from the soluble solution of two salts. Now that reaction is generally known as an precipitation reactions. For example, if I have taken the aqueous solution of your NaCl, that is your sodium chloride, that means what? So NaCl is dissolved in the water, plus I have taken the silver nitrate, another salt one, silver nitrate, and I have made the aqueous solution of this silver nitrate, and if I mix these two solution within each other, so there will be the formation of AgCl, which is generally known as a precipitate, and in short form we write it as a PPT, and that is nothing but our insoluble semi-solid salt, plus we get a byproduct as an NaNO3, sodium nitrate. This is our byproduct. This is your silver chloride. Now this silver chloride is in the form of a insoluble semi-solid PPT, or you can say it as a salt one. So this is generally about your precipitation reaction. In the laboratory, whenever we find detection of two acidic and the two basic radical from the given binary mixture, we observed a precipitation reaction in the laboratory. Inorganic chemical reaction is your acid base neutralization reaction. Acid base neutralization reaction. Acid base. What about acid base neutralization reactions? We know that whenever acid combine with the base, it forms salt and water as a product. Same again, HCl, if I have taken HCl, aqueous HCl plus mix with NaOH, that is your base, it gives NaCl plus H2O, water. So in this reaction, this HCl, which act as an acid, react with the base to give salt one plus water. So this is about your acid base reaction one. But the question arises, why this reaction is also known as a neutralization reaction one? Remember, in the reactant, HCl shows a acidic nature, NaOH shows the basic nature, but when the product forms salt, NaCl neither act as acid, neither act as a base one. Okay, it is neutral in nature. Water is again neutral in nature. So this reaction is known as an acid base neutralization reaction. Now the third type of inorganic chemical reaction is your redox reaction one. Now generally the redox reaction is nothing but oxidation reaction and reduction reaction one. Okay, oxidation reaction and the reduction reactions. If I have to define the redox reaction, I am going to define the redox reaction whenever a oxidation and the reduction reaction takes place simultaneously within the same chemical reactions. Now that reactions are known as a redox reaction. So whenever a simultaneous oxidation and the reduction process takes place within the same chemical reaction, now that reactions are known as a redox reaction. Okay, now we generally we are surrounded by such types of the redox reaction in the nature one. Which are the redox reactions that are involved one in the nature? So the redox reactions involved in nature, as the first one is the burning of fuel. The burning of fuel. This is another important chemical reactions one which comes under the category redox reaction one. The burning of fuel. The burning of fuel, such as you can take wood, gasoline, oil, okay, so many fuels one. So whenever they burns in presence of oxygen, they evolve the carbon dioxide and it evolves the heat one. That heat is used for the different purposes one. Okay, for example, if I considered a methane gas, okay, which is generally in the biogas one, which react with the oxygen in the air, it gives carbon dioxide gas plus it gives water plus heat one. Now that heat is generally used for our cooking purposes in your biogas one. Okay, next, that is the redox reactions which is involved in a household bleaching agent. Bleaching agent, generally the sodium hypochlorite NaOCl, H2O2 and Cl2, they act as an oxidizing agent one. Okay, they act as oxidizing agent. Now what is bleaching process exactly? You must know the bleaching one. Bleaching is nothing but the decolorization of colored materials using redox reaction. Now that process is known as a bleaching one. For example, NaOCl, sodium hypochlorite, is generally used to bleach the stains from the cloth one. Stains from the cloth. Now what is stain? Stain is nothing but a oily liquid patch consists of dust and the colored particles ones, which is generally observed on cloth. H2O2, hydrogen peroxide. Now that hydrogen peroxide is generally used to bleach the dark hair in our dyes one. So it acts as an oxidizing agent there one. The next one is chlorine. Wood pulp is bleached to make a white paper one by using a chlorine gas. So generally these are the bleaching agents, oxidizing agent one, okay, which we generally observe in our life. Now next, generally in the nature we observe the rusting phenomena, the rusting of irons one. Okay, Generally, this process is known as a corrosion. Now, another redox reactions which observed in the nature one, that is nothing but rusting of irons or the corrosion one. Now, what is rusting? That is the degradation of iron articles or iron materials by the redox reaction is known as a corrosion or the rusting phenomena. Remember, this is very simple definition. You have to this definition one, that is degradation of a iron's article by the redox reaction is known as a rusting phenomena one. When the iron article come in contact with a moisture in presence of oxygen, okay, it gives 2Fe2O3, that is your ferrous oxide. Now that is nothing but your corroded metal or corroded iron one. So this is your rusting phenomena which we generally observe in the nature. It also involves the redox reaction. Now next, again in the nature, the respiration is one of the best example of your redox reaction one. This is one of the important physiological process of a human beings one. Now respiration, what is respiration? How we can define the respiration? So respiration is nothing but the process of breathing the oxygen by using redox reaction is known as an respiration. We know that we consume the food, and from that food the glucose C6H12O6 molecule undergoes the redox reaction, and it gives carbon dioxide plus water plus energy. Okay, now that energy we use for our different physiological process one. So after discussing the different redox reaction which is present in the nature, we know that the redox reactions occur almost with every element one. Okay, and that's why it is included in our syllabus. This particular chapter is included in our syllabus one. The next important term that you are going to learn in this chapter is the oxidation number, and we are going to assign the oxidation number for the element in the compound by using the rules one. So we have to study the rules for assigning the oxidation number, and these oxidation numbers are generally useful to predict the type of a chemical reactions one, generally the inorganic chemical reactions one. So this is the importance of this chapter and the introduction of your chapter, that is your redox reaction. So thank you for watching this video. Please do subscribe to my YouTube channel.